Hey, what's up guys, Captain Jack here, and we are back on Car Mechanic Simulator 2018, and we've got lots more jobs to keep doing. So we have our new story mission job to go, and lots of other ones. I really need to start doing some of these random ones as well. I'm just trying to get through the story ones because they seem to give the best XP and the best money, and they seem to be quite a bit of fun as well. Just the randomness of them all. And hello, I brought a new Olsen Grand Club. It's a great car. In the ad it said that the car does have great off-road, but I have the impression that driving an SUV on the sand dunes was not a good idea. Yeah, probably not. Something is scraping and leaking. Please do something about it. I need the car for this weekend for an off-road trip with friends. Well, you're just going to break it again if I fix it. Something is scraping and leaking. Oil? Do you need a new oil pan? I don't know if the game goes this detailed, but I mean, you could have broken your diff and be leaking diff fluid, diff oil. Although it was supposed to be it was in all like the media and all the hype about this game, they never actually put it in, and that's brake fluid. You were supposed to be able to bleed the brakes properly and run the brake system. You were supposed to have all the fluids that the game should have, like the radiators were supposed to be fillable with water. None of that was brought in. They literally just kept the oil from 14 and 15, which is a shame. Anyway, let's take that order and let's figure this out. See, I like the problem-solving part of this game. Which is what I like from real life too. Is the problem-solving of getting a car in your shop and trying to figure out what's wrong with it, because owners never know. You bring a car in, oh, it's making a funny noise, or oh, it's not driving like it used to, and then you have to figure it all out. But I find that fun. Well, I mean, I don't know if you want a light and a bumper back. Am I going to have to replace the light and the bumper? I bet I am. Yeah, look, repair or replace body parts. Front license plate, front left fender, headlight, bumper. Okay, that's fine. Makes sense. Lots of broken parts there. I suppose I should run this thing on the track, really. But yeah, so I like the problem finding part of it. And although sometimes I get very confused by the way the game does things, that's the wrong place completely. Because this game does do things in a weird way sometimes. I do enjoy getting it wrong and then being able to figure it all out as I go. You know, I find that a lot of fun. And plus, all the time I spend getting it wrong and trying to figure out until I get it right, it means that it saves you guys. Oh, the actual oil pan is missing? Oh, well, that would explain a lot. Yeah, it saves you guys a lot of time trying to figure stuff out for yourselves. You know? All the time I sit here saying, why isn't this working? Oh, that's not how you do that. Oh, that's not right. Does it work like this? Oh, this is how it works. And then you guys, you don't have to go through all that because you can see that's how it works. That's how I'll do it. So through all the agony I go through, it saves you guys a lot of problems. Wow. That front diff is wrecked, yo. And the front drive shafts, and the steering rack, and the crossbeam, and every single piece of suspension except for that sway bar end. Oh, and the tie rods. For once the tie rods are okay. No way. That's epic. The engine itself looks fine. I can't... How did he rip the sump off with all this stuff protecting it though? I mean, yeah, all this stuff is damaged, though somehow he's managed to not damage the sway bar. But everything else. But all this stuff is damaged, but none of it's been ripped off. But the sump has been ripped off. How does that work? Surely if the sump had been ripped off, then at least one of these other parts should have gone. What kind of oil pan does it even need? Let's go with... I can cheat and see. So oil pan V8. Because I can just cheat and see what's missing. That's very naughty of me, I know. Let's quickly chuck an oil pan V8 on then. Oil pan... or sump as we call them in the UK. £4 vid. Ah, I see, it's quite a deep one. That could be why it caught. 25 grand, but oh, wow, I didn't realise we had so much cash. I could probably go to the auction house if it was unlocked and buy a car. I could get one cheap, and then we could like work on it and sell it. Oh, actually, I've got some barns unlocked, haven't I? I could probably get a car from there, actually. I keep saying actually too much, actually. Didn't mean to press that. Right, let's drop this thing back down, put some oil in the car, and let's see if we can get it around a test track, because I want some proper answers as to exactly what's broken on this. I'm thinking it's going to be like everything suspension-wise, those front wheels as well. So at least it has a new sump. Right, let's see if we can get it around a track. Please work. Oh yes, we can get it on the track. This is going to be fun. I'm thinking everything, literally everything, broken. Anything that's near the floor, broken. At least on the front end. I didn't actually look at the back. Let's do it! Push as well. Let's see how she handles. Oh wow! Doesn't do cornering. Doesn't do cornering. I'm so glad that there's no damage from like your test drives. All my 25 grand to be gone because I'll be buying this guy a new car. Oh wow! Understeer much. Come on, you big lug. Get round. Oh wow. Stop, stop, stop. Those brakes are terrible. At this point, can I just suggest a new car? I'm the one who has to fix this stuff. It's going to be everything. It's going to be another long one, guys. Oh, you'll love this, by the way. I've been looking over all my stats. And I don't know if YouTubers tend to go into their analytics. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be talking about it or if I'm allowed to talk about it. But, wow. See, wrecked. 89% seems to be the thing to do better than, but these things are just wrecked. But yeah, analytics. So it looks like my audience is literally exactly 30% UK, 30% US, and then the other 40%. Wow, I had trouble figuring it out for a second. The other 40% is split between most of Europe and other countries, which is just so random. And it's something like 90% male, 10% female. So, to you 10% of ladies out there, if you're watching, please do feel free to comment and say, you know, I'm one of the 10%. Because it's nice to know that I have a very varied and mixed audience. In fact, feel free to leave a comment saying where you're watching from. And, you know, if you want, you can pick a gender and say which one you are. I myself identify as a TAC helicopter. No, we don't want to do that. We want to go over here. But yeah, no, feel free to comment where you're from, where you're watching from, and whatever you want. You know, interact. Let's make this fun. Let's build an awesome community. Because that's what's good about the internet, is that you can just find random people who you don't know, connect with them, share with them, and have fun. I mean, that's why I'm doing this. Because it doesn't make me any money. I'm certainly not to a point where I'm actually making money from doing this. Not even close. So I'm doing this for fun. And yes, you may say, well, if you're not making money from it, then why do you have adverts? Why do you monetize your videos? Well, because I would like to make a career of it. And to me, it seems like a massive scumbag move if... Yeah, wrecked, told you. It seems like a massive scumbag move if I only turn on monetization once I start getting popular, if I do, ever. You know, I start getting tons of viewers and tons of likes and tons of subscribers, and then I suddenly add the monetization. To me, that seems like a right scumbag move. Whereas if I just have it on from the beginning, then I've had it on forever. Just, you know, to see if I do make anything. And that's one thing you'll always get from me is honesty. Because I may not have all the answers, I may not know all the facts, and I may get stuff wrong occasionally, but I won't ever lie to you or try to make out that I'm giving you something because I enjoy doing it, but secretly it's because I want to make cash. Yes, I'd love to make some money from this. I'd love to turn into a career one day and be able to live from doing just this. That would be epic. But I'm not holding out all my hopes and dreams on it, and I'm certainly not going to go out of my way to make content that I know will only make me money. Because I can see that these car mechanic sim videos aren't getting tons and tons of views. They're not pulling in big numbers, but where other YouTubers might look at that and think, I'm not getting much views from that, I'll drop that and move on to something else. I'm going to continue playing it because I enjoy it. And the 10 or 20 or 30 people that are watching this also enjoy watching it and are wanting me to continue doing it. So I'm going to continue doing it for those minority, for those few. So we did the oil pan. We've got 2 parts that we don't know about, which are probably going to be like 1, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's quite a few parts we don't know about. Those are probably going to be things like, you know, bushings and stuff that we can't get to. So let's take this thing apart anyway. So the engine's fine. Our radiator is going to be one of those things, I reckon. Pump and all that's fine. Literally everything under the hood is all good. I swear I say literally too much. And actually. Yeah, all that looks brilliant and really good. And nice. I was going to say it again then. It's everything under the car. Not literally, but actually. Right, let's take this wheel off. The calipers look nice. No, wrong thing. Let's take that off. Let's get you off. I think I am going to have to take the entire front end of the car apart. Which I will do anyway because I don't mind doing it. Well, I don't remember clicking over that way. See, all this has definitely got to come off. I'm just the sway bar and the tie rods, the 2 things that are usually well, 3 things that always go, if you include both parts of the tie rod. And they're the only things on this car that's had massive suspension damage that are okay. It's like as if, no way. What do you want? We're actually on 1.1.1 now. Really banging out these updates. Which is good, you know, I like that. They've seen that there's been an issue. And honestly, I mean, you can't blame Red Dot Games, the dev. I think that it's been another typical case of publisher scumbaggery. Publishers do this. They want to set targets, they want to make money. Usually publishers help out the developers by financing them a little bit and making some deals here and there. You know, putting their own neck on the line, sure. But then what they do is they'll set a release date and tell the devs they've got to stick to it. And the devs will work their butts off trying to stick to it. But at the end of the day, you can't always guarantee that there won't be something that goes wrong or something that doesn't quite turn out the way you want it to be, and so it needs a little bit more work. And so that means that in reality the development process is a very, you know, it can't be held to a schedule. It's just something that you shouldn't hold to a schedule if you want to make a good game. Which is why I tend to go and look for good games on you know, little gaming websites or places like Kickstarter, where it's usually small independent or indie devs who aren't being held to ransom by some big publishing company, who can release games in their own like time frame and do things in a better way, you know, which means that you get a game that's actually been worked on and then released when it's ready. In this case, Playaway Games, who are the publisher, who do all like the car mechanic and train mechanic sim and truck mechanic sim games, they publish all of them, but the devs Red Dot Games, they work hard on a product that they want us to enjoy. They love cars, they love gaming, and they want to give us a game that is awesome. I don't know why I'm taking all that apart. Didn't actually need to. I'm just lost in my own thoughts. But the publisher is like, no, you've got to release on this time frame. Even if you're not ready, you've got to release. So they go and release, and the game ends up being full of bugs and issues. And who's left being called rubbish and incompetent and we don't like you because your game sucks? It's Red Dot. No one's blaming Playway. Red Dot again, all the hate. And they're the ones left apologising. Okay, this side I do need off. They're the ones left apologising, saying we're so sorry and we shouldn't have released a game that wasn't ready yet. It's all on us. Meanwhile, Playway are just sitting there like, nothing to do with us, we're keeping quiet. And it's real scumbaggery. And I buy these games because I love the games, I love working on cars, I love car mechanics in general, you know, just everything to do with it, working on the cars and fault finding and just making something yourself. Every aspect of it I love. But it does suck when a game that has so much potential and was supposed to be such a great game is made lower to a lower standard than it should have been by pressure from a dev. And the same thing happened to Fernbus. I played that ages ago. I don't know if any of you guys know what happened there, but again, a dev was trying to work hard on the game, were pushed and pushed and pushed by a publisher, were made to release a game way before it was ready. The game released full of bugs, everyone hated it, it died immediately. It had hype for maybe a week after it was released, and that's it. And it's not been heard from since. No one's playing it anymore, no one's even talking about it. It's dead. And since then, I've played it, and they've released so many more updates. It works so much better now. There's so much more to it. It's a brilliant and beautiful game now, but it's dead. And the same thing happened with No Man's Sky, although that was very slightly different, because that was a very slightly bigger game developer, the head of which was a liar. He was trying to make his game sound better than it really was, because he wanted it to have big sales numbers. And again, the publishers were a bit pushy, and you know, it all kind of led to chaos. But yeah, that one was slightly different, but it was the same kind of outcome. A game ended up just dying and no one's heard from it since. But that again, I've played that since then, and again, it's actually a lot of fun now. It's a lot better. Anyway, I need to stop prattling on because I've got stuff to repair. We want to go not by arrival, thank you. We want to go by condition. So we've got shocks. Those probably need replacing. You take the shocks and the wheels apart, and then it's just everything, isn't it? Really? I mean, all that stuff's fine, but if it's on the list, it has to be 100%ed. What have we got on that list? Oh, we don't need that. We want to go over here. So we've got shocks, U-spring, bolts, control arms, knuckles. Yeah, see, it's filled everything in now. It was stuff that was attached to other stuff, so that it doesn't show up. Usually rubber bushings. Oh, excuse me. And the rims for some reason. Front spring, shock caps. Okay, let's get this stuff apart quickly. Let's separate parts. Yes. I just want to get all this stuff apart so I can see every individual thing that needs replacing, and then we can just go from there. Move from here, and we'll separate. Yes. While that's going, let's quickly. And not you. We want to do this one. Remove you. Quick. No, not you. Let's remove you. Okay, that's the springs done. Take you. Remove this one. Yes. Okay, so we'll wait for this to remove, and then that's everything separated. Loving the off-road tyres. Those are beastly. Nice to see an SUV that is actually used off-road. Modern ones aren't really built for that, I think. Right, so let's go by condition. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Okay, name would probably be a good thing, because then everything's together and I can see what needs replacing. I'd like to do it in name, by name, but also in condition. So that all the broken stuff's at the top with its counterparts next to it, rather than just being a whole load of good stuff in between. So we need bottom suspension arm, but we only need the one. I hate how long that black screen stays on. Bottom suspension arm, bottoms, that'd be under B, so there we go. Just the one of those. Then we want double wishbone shock. Double wishbone shock times 2. I'm probably going to skip this bit for you guys. And that was much quicker for you guys because I skipped it. But a little bit laborious and tedious for me, and I forgot I should have tried to repair some of that. Oh well, doesn't matter. But yeah, that can be some of the most annoying parts to do is the buying of new parts, especially when you've got a big list. I don't mind doing it, but when you've got a lot of stuff to buy, it can really get tedious. And when you've done like car after car after car after car, then that becomes the least fun part of the game. But like I said, I don't mind doing it because it's all part of the fun. May not be the best part of the fun, but it's still part of the fun. Can't believe how wrecked this guy's car was, but again, at least he was using it off-road. I've got to give him mad props for that. It's certainly not something you normally see. I think if I saw an SUV off-road around here, I'd have a heart attack. SUV? Using an off-road or off-road? That's crazy, sir. Crazy talk. Caliper? And I think that's everything. I want to forget something, and then the poor guy drives off and the car falls apart. Just chuck you on. Awesome times, awesome sauce. Let's go Renoxy. But if you just heard, I don't know if my Discord sounds come through, but if you just heard then that was just a message on Discord. It was really loud in my ear, so I apologise if it's loud in your ear. It actually hurt quite a bit. God, that sound is so high pitched. Also, I keep forgetting to check the audio on my videos once they're published, but because when I check it in my editing software, it always sounds fine, but sometimes I know once it's published it sounds a little different. So I don't know if I'm too loud, or if the game is too loud, or if the game sounds drown me out, or if the game sounds are too quiet so you can't hear anything at all and it sounds like I'm playing on mute, which I know can be annoying. So I do keep forgetting to check that, and I really must. But I don't like watching my own videos once they're published because it adds views and I feel like that's cheating. They just go anti-clockwise to tighten up. I'm going to check that on the next wheel I do. So yeah, I haven't checked, but I will try and remember. Okay, that's that. Oh yeah, that's a good point. I need to rebuild and balance those wheels. We'll go here and here. Yes. While it's doing its thing, we can quickly rebuild a spring. A spring, apparently. It's a new way of saying it. Spring. In the springtime. Let's get you bouncing. Let's build you. Take and build and that and that. Yes. Take. Take. And take. And then we've got on the last wheel. Yes. Oh, wrong button. Why do I keep doing that? And let's start building the front. Get the cross member and stuff in. See, because these are 89%, I don't know if it's going to allow that. because they're part of something that had to be 100, although on other parts it allows it. Yeah, no, I think it could be fine. Then it's a bit weird sometimes in the way it does things. I have yet to figure out that whole... Well, I know that when it says in the car status, this thing, that means that if I'm going to repair a part, it has to meet that 100%. But sometimes it feels like when I put a part back on, it's... If I've got a rubber bushing or another attached part that's not 100% as well, it feels like it doesn't like it. I don't know, it's weird. So I don't always quite understand, but figure it out as we go along, and then you guys don't have to figure it out for yourselves, because I've done it for you. Which I guess is a big help. Let's get all the racks and axles on. Drive shaft. Let's get you on. Let's get... wrong thing. Let's get you on. Knuckles in place. One, two, three. Let's get all this put together. 1, 2, 3. Come on, out of tie rod. Thank you. Let's get the sway bar end on. Oh wow, you have to be so pixel perfect on the highlighting of these things. So annoying. Let's build this up. That and that. Put the hub bearing in. Vented disc. Drive axle. Drive shaft. Brake caliper. Screw that on. And okay, so this side definitely clockwise to screw up, which is correct. Unless you're in Australia, according to The Simpsons. If you haven't seen that episode, don't worry. It's a thing. Let's take that. Oh yeah, don't forget I've got to do those body parts. So that is everything over that side, isn't it? I didn't leave anything. I always feel like I've forgotten one or two things. Not done a thing properly. 1, 2, 3. And then at the top there, 1, 2, 3. Let's get the sway bar front end link on. So I really want to get more stuff done each episode, but these jobs are starting to get very, very long. So it means that I'm actually starting to be able to do less each episode. But I'm definitely going to do at least one whole car an episode, of course. Until I start coming to building my own car. That could take a few episodes that I might do a job from the phone and then a bit of my own car as I go. So like I'll have to build money up as I do it, I guess, to buy parts for it. Because it's going to cost quite a bit. Yep, that's definitely anti-clockwise. Okay. That's really weird and backwards. We won't question that. Right, that's all of the undercarriage on. Let's go inventory. Why have I got a small rubber bushing? Have I forgotten to put one in somewhere? Don't tell me I've forgotten a rubber bushing. Okay, everything's done except for these two, which is the radio stuff. I guess I bought a spare. Don't remember buying a spare, but okay. Radiator. Radiator fan housing. Awesome sauce. Close the hood. What parts is it I need? It'll be front bumper. Hang on. Front bumper, left headlight fender, and license plate. So we need body spot. I know it's a Movani, but I can't remember what one it is. Let's just do that. Okay, let's find out what it's actually called then. Fine. You want to be precise. It's a... an Olsen Grand Club. Oh, no, over here. Olsen Grand Club. There we go. So we want front bumper. One of those. We want right fender. We want... was it left headlight, wasn't it? Yep. And then we need a number plate. Before I can buy that though, let's quickly check out what his plate number is. What if I have to respray these parts? He didn't ask for it. Nate R45 HMO. So I have to remember that. Nate R45 HMO. Nate R45 HMO. Oh, damn. I didn't look at what his state was. I should really write this down somewhere. I'm going to forget. I know I am. Oh, it's just plain white. So, is plain white available as a thing? Plain white, plain white, plain white. They've all got something on them. And there it is. License plate standard. Custom. So it was N8 R45 HMO. Total price $1,000. Wow, for a license plate. Damn, that's expensive. And that should be everything. So let's go to... Yeah, this is where we get a bit weird. Oh no, it's not that. It's this one. Because you've got assemble mode, which is fine. But the weird thing is, when you come to do the interior, you actually have to go into interior disassemble, and then right click again and go into interior assemble. I know, it's like, what? That's strange. But we go assemble mode, front bumper, headlight, fender, and oh, the plate came with it. Yeah, there's the plate. Okay, cool. Awesome sauce. Didn't say he wanted me to respray them for him, so I guess I'll just leave them as they are. That should actually be everything. All greens. All greens. 13,000 for this job. Although, to be fair, I did have 25 grand, so I have just spent 5 or 6 grand doing the job. Yeah, money spent 5,500. I got 4,900 as a bonus, 2,500 as a job bonus, so my total is 13 grand. So it actually includes money spent in what you're spending to do the job, which is good. I like that. So finish order. So I've made about 7 grand on top of that. And there you go. That's one job done. So that was there was a bit of length to that episode. We had some good chats about random stuff though. Stuff I felt was important and stuff that was just incredibly random. In the meantime, like I said before, if you want to comment, then please do feel free to. This is as much for me as it is, as much for you as it is for me. And we're all here to have some fun and laughs and meet new people, I guess, make some friends and have great times together. So comment where you're watching this from, what you love, what you hate. Remember, be nice though. Constructive criticism is good, but just being rude for the sake of being rude makes you an idiot. And trolls, well, trolls are just trolls. We tend to ignore them. They think that they get to us, but they really don't. Anyway, enough of the theological debates and nattering on. Feel free to comment. Like if you want to like, if you liked it. And subscribe if you think I'm awesome. I think I'm awesome, so you should subscribe. So, yeah, and I'll see you all on the next one. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Take care, and bye-bye.